1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Attention, everybody. Attention, everybody. This is an emergency podcast of the Bone Zone. We have called this emergency podcast to clear up some rumors that have been floating around about co-host of the Bone Zone podcast, Randy Lidke. We dropped everything we're doing. There's a big media zeitgeist surrounding my pal, your man, Randman Lidke, in the media right now. And this has affected Randy's life. And Randy wants to use the podcast to clear things up, since this is his only mouthpiece where he won't be censored or have any words put in his mouth. Randy?
Hello. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you holding up?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I was at a pretty important Hollywood function that I was dragged away from.
Well, I'm sorry, but you are leaving. You're going to Australia for a few weeks.
I'll be in Australia. If anybody's in the Melbourne area, I might do some secret shows there. I'm not allowed to do any paying shows because the government will throw me in Australian prison, where I would get a bunch of Australian prisoners doing walkabouts.
Australian rules.
They'd be playing Australian rules butthole football in my outback.
Nice, dog. But yeah, I don't really like. So, hey everybody, this is Randy Lidke.
This is Randy. I'm gonna hand the floor over to Randy and have him explain what's been going on.
Here's what happened, and you may have seen it, but I came up with a funny joke idea. I baked some cookies that looked like iPhones. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that on my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Tumblr, and it happened to go viral. Viral. And I did a thing with Pace Picante like a week ago, and that kind of got a lot of attention too. So it's really random and crazy. Two things happened, literally kind of like 7-8 days apart.
Viral Randy.
Ranman. No, but if, whatever. It wasn't like, ooh, I'm going to go viral again. I lived in LA for 5 years or so. And
you've been here for
6
almost
years.
6 years.
And if I had that power, I would do it all the time. You know what I mean? I would do things that got me attention and more Twitter followers. But they just happened to they happened right next to each other. Really strange.
Totally organic.
And how this one came about, I had written down the idea.
It's like when you're looking for love.
Uh-huh.
If you're really searching hard, you're really looking for a lady, you don't find someone until, boom, one day it just falls right in your lap when you're least expecting it.
That's true.
And that's how Viral Randy, Viri, has earned his crown.
My initials, Randall Aaron Lidke, R-A-L, Viral.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Also, we're having a bit of a pizza party here. So
We're having some pizza.
If you hear some chomping. So how it happened.
It's an emergency podcast.
Yeah.
We're hunkered down in the Bone Zone studios.
We got to have a meal, and then after this podcast, I got to go to bed.
We have enough rations to last us maybe the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. So what happened? I made a joke, wrote it down. I was like, I'm going to tweet that at some point. The idea of iPhones, cookies that look like iPhones to trick police into pulling you over. Just a joke.
And I
Was just a
can
joke
back you
idea.
up on this because I ran into you at a coffee shop when you were on your way to go cook the cookies.
Yep. And I was like, this is a funny joke idea. Originally I was just going to tweet it as a text joke. And then I was like, it would be funnier if I had the cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. I posted a picture of the cookies. And then I said, oh man, how funny would that be if I had a picture of me out driving, acting like I'm trying to get pulled over. So I did that. Okay. I posted it. And then it went viral.
And for a little Bone Zone interactive sesh, you at home, Google Randy Lidkey iPhone cookie, and you'll see the...
Yeah, or just Google iPhone cookie or iPhone cookie prank, or my name. Search my name. That's like most of the things that are happening right now. So I went out there. My girlfriend took a picture of me driving around, but I was actually scared. I was like, I didn't want to get in trouble. I just did it. And then it went viral. Okay?
Viral!
It went viral.
Viral!
Like, I mean, whatever. Someone took it off of my Tumblr, put it on Reddit. It was on the front page of Reddit.
Everybody made sure to take your name off of it before they reposted
they drew
it
a line
everywhere.
through my name, but it was a screen cap of my Tumblr page, and and my Tumblr went crazy. Like right now it has close to 400,000 notes. If you know anything about Tumblr, that's either reblogs or likes. And
That's 400,000.
like in 24 hours, it had close to 300,000. So it was crazy. And then, as that,
Definition of viral.
all of those viral type sites were posting it, and it was going crazy. And then a lot of people were saying it was funny. A lot of people were saying it was bad. And then some of those sites that are somewhere in between viral sites and news sites were giving it headlines. They were writing a paragraph, even though they had nothing to write about. They didn't even really know that it was me. I had to actually tell certain sites, hey, that's me, like College Humor, The Chive, Daily Dot, these kind of viral type sites didn't even know a comedian was behind it. They just thought it was some guy.
Yeah.
So I finally decided, I read a bunch of negative stuff about it, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go actually do it. People out there are thinking I'm doing this. I may as well just do it.
You're going to drive around with the iPhone cookie, not just for a photo op,
But to actually get pulled over.
get pulled over by a cop,
Uh-huh.
take a bite of the cookie in his face, and ask him if cookies are illegal.
Yeah, that was my tweet. And I was like, you know what? People are already thinking this guy is out there doing it. I may as well do it. I'm like a nice guy. I don't want to get in trouble with the cops, but
You're basically a nice guy.
I kind of a lot of people on Twitter were being like, you got to go do this. And I was like, you're right. So they kind of like told me I needed to, and I went out there, and then I started tweeting as I was doing it. I woke up that morning and I was like, you know what? I think I really am going to go out there and do this.
You had a couple cookies left, right? How many did you bake all
I
together?
made 3. I made 3 cookies. I ate one of them because it didn't look that good, and I kept the other 2 that looked pretty good.
Okay.
I went out there. I was like, all right, let's go find some cops. I didn't see any. I went and got coffee. I went and got breakfast. And then I was like, let's go find some cops. And then I saw one, and I turned around and followed it. And then I got in front of it, and it pulled me over.
And the whole time you're like, are you making believe that you're talking on the cookie, or you're just kind of holding it like a phone?
I was holding it like I was talking on it on speakerphone.
Okay.
So like if you hold it next to your ear, I thought maybe, I don't know. I wanted it I wanted to highlight what the cookie looked like, because I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
It looked like it had a white case on it. And if I held it to my ear, you wouldn't get the intricateness, the intricacies of my handiwork.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did. I got pulled over. Police officer. I've talked to some media about this, but I haven't given them the scoop like this, like I'm giving you, our listeners. I didn't really want to talk about it too much, but it is something that is completely affecting my life, so I do need to talk about it.
Now, should we, before you go further in the story, should we play maybe a couple of these news clips?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I wasn't able to capture all of them because there's a lot of local news that did reports on it, and there's people sent me pictures of their TV screens in all sorts of different towns. But sure, yeah, here's one that I found that's online. It's a Sacramento. I know that's not too far away from Los Angeles, but this is a Sacramento ABC News. I actually don't think I ever talked to anybody on ABC. They didn't really have my permission to use the photo. Not saying that I'm mad.
Yeah.
I did. Some people asked for my permission. Once it turned into a news story, people were asking for my permission to use it. So Fox News asked for it. NBC asked for it.
They pay you for this, right?
No money.
What?
No money. I haven't made a single cent. But
And actually, it's quite to the contrary, which I guess we'll find out on this newscast.
So, this is just like a Sacramento ABC News.
Oh, you know what, though?
What's up?
Can I break this story on the Bone Zone, though?
Do you want to be the one who breaks it?
So before I'll break into the podcast and present the clip.
3, 2, 1.
This is Brendan Walsh reporting live from the Bone Zone newsroom at the Bone Zone studios. We're currently breaking a top story. Co-host of the Bone Zone, Randy Lidke, baked an iPhone cookie just for the sole purpose of doing a tweet with a photograph, and that since spiraled out of control to where he actually went out to have a cop pull him over while he had the cookie. And coming to you now is a clip from the Sacramento ABC News affiliate. Randy, please roll that clip.
Again, so this is just this kind of represents the local news aspect, but it was across the board. People in Las Vegas, people in New York, everyone was getting this local news.
I just broke into.
I'm sorry. Okay, so here it is.
You gotta love Oreo cookies, don't you?
I like iPhone cookies.
Yeah, you like those?
Yeah, because you can prank the cops, right? That's
That is
always a
not
good
cool.
idea, to prank the cops.
No.
Randy Lidke thought it was a good idea. He's a stand-up comedian. He thought it'd be funny to bake some cookies and prank the cops.
Is he laughing now?
He's not. He actually put some messages out on Twitter that said, quote, made iPhone cookies to trick cops into pulling me over. I'll just take a bite and ask if cookies are against the law.
Well, that's funny how you say it.
Another tweet said, took a bite out of the cookie. He was so confused and angry. Told me to hold tight. He's back in his car now. Another tweet says I have a warrant for unpaid parking tickets, making me go with him.
Should have thought about that.
Letting me text my girlfriend, but I'm tweeting this. And then the last one says, wasn't worth it. I'm an idiot. No more iPhone cookies.
Wait, but he didn't get in trouble for the cookie.
No.
It was for the warrant.
Oh,
for the parking
the
ticket.
warrant, right. I mean, you can't get in trouble for holding up a cookie, but certainly the officer will not let you off easy. If you're pranking him, he's going to find something else to get you on.
And he did.
And he did, yeah. I don't know if you
That's
guys
a
have
good
seen
one.
this one yet.
Fabulous.
So, yeah, that's what happened. I didn't get that far, but basically I got pulled over, took a bite out of the cookie. And
In the cop's face?
No, man, I'm not like a big tough guy.
So when the cop went back to his car is when you took a bite of it?
No, like he's like, you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, no, I don't. And I took a bite out of the cookie and just started chewing it. I made eye contact with him, and he was like, like he was just really confused.
Yeah.
And
then he just asked for your license.
and
shit.
he said, yeah, I gave him my information. He told me to hold tight. Went back to his police car, and I was like, I got this. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, this is what I wanted. And then he comes back and asks if I was aware that I had a warrant, asked me to step out of the car. He was very cool about it.
Right.
Maybe he shouldn't have been.
I mean, it depends on what your definition of cool is.
He
wasn't yelling at you and tasing you.
He didn't give me a black eye. He let me text my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And I got one last tweet out.
Right.
And then I went in the back of the cop car.
And did he make you drop the cookie or how did the cookie wind up on the ground?
I had it in my hand and I was trying to text my girlfriend. And so I just had to set it on the ground while I continued to text because I didn't want to put a cookie in my pocket.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
there's already so many other cookies and hams and stuff in there.
Yeah.
You don't want to get cookie crumbs all over your sandwich that you have in there.
Well, I didn't had icing on it, so it's like I just like set it on the ground and I texted her and tweeted, and then I got in the cop car.
Did he cuff you?
Yeah, he did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like aggressive about it. He told me that he had to do it, and
I guess that makes sense.
yeah, and so I had a bunch of parking tickets that weren't paid. And then there was
You had a warrant.
There was a warrant sent to me that I'd never got because Apparently, I'm not on the lease here or something. So, like, I've changed my address everywhere, but for some reason, I've lived here for a year.
Yeah.
And there are things that still get sent to my old place and things that, I don't know. Like, I think if someone were to, like, try to figure out my address, they couldn't figure it out.
Seems like people get arrested for warrants. I actually, not to sidetrack it, but when I put that bumper sticker on my friend's car that said "fuck all cops,"
yeah.
and he wound up getting locked up for the same. He had a warrant, but it was for underage drinking. We were under 21.
Yeah.
But it sounds like, you know, from years of watching cops and stuff, people, you can have warrants out for your arrest and you don't know about it unless you like killed somebody, like, unless it's serious. But if you have a warrant for,
it's for not
tickets.
Basically, it's for not like, yeah. My girlfriend, same thing happened to her a couple years back. She missed a court date because she didn't realize she had a ticket for something.
Soliciting?
Yeah. No, it was like a registration thing that she just didn't know about, and she just thought she had taken care of it and whatever. Anyways, go down to the police station. Can't get a hold of my girlfriend. She's at work.
Did you get to finish the cookie, or did you leave it on the ground when he handcuffed you?
I had to. I picked it up, but I didn't want to leave it there. That's littering. I mean, it is food, but
Birds would eat it.
He threw it away once we got to the police station.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Now, what was worse for you, being handcuffed and arrested, or watching a delicious cookie get thrown in the trash?
Equal.
Which do you think will scar you more for life?
Those are more equal.
Which one of those scenarios causes you to wake up screaming in a cold sweat every night? the remembering going to jail, or watching a delicious cookie that you baked be thrown into a garbage can?
Real funny, Brendon.
Just try it. Well, this is still a podcast.
Yeah,
I know you're going through stuff. Just trying to make some jokes, but
anyways,
I'll let you finish.
So yeah. Later that night, I'm able to figure out all the paperwork that's involved, and I'm now on a payment plan for these parking tickets.
Well, do we want to play another clip? Because this is Fox News, right? They did a story.
Yeah, so this is the real story with Gretchen Carlson. Who's
a crazy idiot asshole.
On Fox News. This is national news.
And also, I want to point out, sorry to cut you off, but even that other clip, the way people are talking about you, like, this was a pretty harmless idea. And the guy, when he read your tweet, which is a funny tweet written on the page, driving around, if a cop pulls me over, I'm going to take a bite of the cookie and ask if cookies are against the law. Whatever, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
When that guy read it, I don't know if you heard, but but what I noticed is the stupid lady sidekick was like, well, it's funny when you say it.
Yeah, people...
people are against you for this, on paper, it's a funny idea. It's a super harmless joke, but people made it into something. They made it in this, like, you, for whatever reason, there was a universal frustration and anger that people just directed towards you.
Yeah.
And they won't give you any credit for it being funny or
being a
creative.
good idea. Yeah. Because it is, at the base of it, that's a good idea. No one else has come up with that idea.
No.
But
or else they would have gone viral.
Part of the reason it got the attention because people thought it was funny initially, but also part of the reason it went viral was because it created a conversation. Some people thought it was good, some people thought it was bad. I tend to pay more attention to the negative stuff because it creates more emotion.
Well, people were saying that they hope you were shot. What were some of the worst?
I got an email directly to me that says, "You're a fucking dumbass. I wish that the police would have shot you and anybody else that thinks this whole thing is funny." So that way there'd be no one to laugh about it.
How do they get your email address? Through Facebook?
I don't know. Maybe it's associated with Tumblr. I don't know. But yeah, people were invading.
Did you reply to the person?
No. I mean, I saw a lot of stuff written online about that as well. Actually, I printed out a bunch of I'll go find it in a second.
Okay.
I printed out a bunch of the negative things that I read online and compiled them.
Oh, you should read some of those.
Some of them. One of them actually made me laugh, but the rest of them hurt my feelings.
Well, do you want to play the Fox News clip and find your list, and we can read those?
Yeah. So this is
well, I'll break this story because there's probably some kind of for you to break your own story.
Yeah. So do you know the name of the show?
The
Real Story with
Real
Gretchen
Story
Carlson.
with Gretchen Carlson. This is Brendan Walsh reporting from the Bone Zone newsroom live in the Bone Zone studios. Follow-up newscast. We're going to play a clip here. There's some more information about the Randy Lidkey iPhone cookie incident. And right now we're going to roll a clip from The Real Story with Gretchen Carlson. Let's roll that clip.
What do you think about this guy? Comedian Pete bites off a little more than he can chew after trying to prank police with iPhone cookies. He drove around holding a cookie up to his ear, and when he was finally pulled over, he took a bite. He tweeted through the whole ordeal. He started, "Oh man, getting pulled over, stay tuned." A few moments later, took a bite out of the cookie. He's so confused and angry, told me to hold tight. He's back in his car now. And then this. Says I have a warrant for unpaid tickets? Making me go with him, letting me text, but I'm tweeting this. All right, so with that tweet picture, Pete, you also say you're going to court for a similar incident.
Next week, the 19th, everybody can see me performing in court at 1 p.m. I was pulled over for the cell phone. But I wasn't on the phone, but I did have it in my hand, and so I'm going to fight that. But the difference is I wasn't trolling a police officer who actually needs to be out there looking for, God forbid, someone was walking, driving by texting while driving. Now, Lou, you don't have to worry about that because your driver, you're more concerned as long as your driver doesn't do that, right? But Lou can't relate to this, obviously. But you don't want to be doing that, obviously. And this is the biggest thing that's going to happen to this guy as a comedian. But you got to wonder what cookies he was eating.
Pete,
Lou,
if you
get
do
to
the
respond,
crime, you got to do the time.
That is
stand up like a man. All right.
So you're telling Pete now, not our cookie guy.
No. Well, the cookie guy, I think, is beyond.
But here's how the police got the cookie guy, Charles. He's owing like $1,000 in parking tickets that he hasn't paid yet. So even though he trolled for police officers, now he's in trouble. Your thoughts?
Well, he's a jerk, number one. Number two, well, listen, you never punk the police. I mean, come on, my man. A security guard, maybe, at a warehouse.
How dare you?
But not
unarmed.
I know that's your second job.
How dare
but
you, sir.
Still, you don't do that. You don't punk the police. Now, I can tell you right now, you're going to lose the traffic court ticket. I mean, I've gone to traffic court, and these are judges that just could not make it up the system. They have a chip on their shoulder.
Oh, my
You're going to lose
What
that.
about the quota that there is to write these tickets for people, even like me, who are innocent, not on the phone? I don't even have any friends to call.
Just tell them you're friends with Charles King. It'll all be good.
And let us know what happens.
I'm on the mantle. I was on the mantle
You're
last
on the
week
mantle.
with Gretchen. Come on.
But I do have to say that guy makes a darn good-looking cookie.
He does. You got to wonder what's in that cookie, though.
You might have to. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Thanks so much.
So that was Fox News.
Yeah, so that's Fox News. That show comes on at like 2 p.m. Pacific time.
And it is a...
2 p.m. Eastern time, so that was at 11 in the morning.
Gretchen Carlson, is that her name?
Gretchen Carlson, she's got a show, I guess. And
she's a Fox News idiot.
And she has a panel that's all men called the Mantle, so they referred to that.
And they find 3 dipshits of different walks of life.
Yeah, this week was a guy named Pete Dominic, who I guess is a serious radio host and stand-up comedian.
He was billed as a stand-up comedian who immediately felt threatened by you having a good idea and didn't get it.
That's the weird thing about this. Anyone who has sort of a comedy anything, when dealt with like the news, you'll hear it more when I should play some radio clips, but everyone...
They go into attack mode.
Yeah, because they just are defending their own sense of comedy, so they're like, they want to talk shit about me rather than being like, this is funny. I mean, I know there are people, friends of mine, or people who I don't really know but respect have told me it's funny. But
should we find a clip of Pete Dominic and his shitty comedy?
No, I don't want to play that game. I don't want to do that. But
because then we're just like them. But no, what I didn't like is... And I like the guy's shitty attitude. Number one, he's on Fox News, so it's like you don't have to do everything people ask you to do because he's not getting paid for it, so he doesn't have that excuse. It's $500. Like that would almost that would almost cut him some slack in my book. But he's just going on there for what? He thinks he's going to get more people out to his shows, like fucking retired Navy guys who are home watching Fox News.
Middle of the week, middle of the day.
Yeah.
Watching Fox
And then he makes a crack like, well, it's the most attention he's ever going to get. Pete Dominic, prediction. Randy Lidke surpasses your career tenfold within the next 8 months.
Well, here's the thing also, is like if they would have just looked into it a little bit more, they would have realized that, like, I have a good clip online right now and it's Comedy Central. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I am a comedian.
Well, in there, and not just playing devil's advocate, but they're not, this story isn't the, to show what, I mean, they have to pick an angle and go for it. It's this idiot. And then you hear those three. I mean, Lou Dobbs, it would have been.
That was one of the other people, cool. As Lou Dobbs was on that. He didn't really say anything about me too much. He said I was beyond counsel.
That's funny, and that's cool.
Lou Dobbs says Randy Lidke is beyond counsel.
This guy's beyond counsel. That's a quote that you should put on, like, whatever. That's a total usable quote. Lou Dobbs, and it's a funny. Real quote.
And then I don't remember the other guy.
Some black idiot.
Some black guy on Fox News who sold
Tom,
his soul.
Fucking cocksucker.
But
he's like, oh, you don't punk the police. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Morning radio fucking shit.
Well, he does like stuff on Fox News. I think he works on a show.
He's a sellout. He's sold out his race.
But
common sense.
But I looked into it, not to have like this like who's more popular war.
No, yeah.
But Lou Dobbs is the only one on that show that has more Twitter followers than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that Pete Dominic guy is saying this is the biggest thing that's ever going to happen in this guy's career, and it's like, well,
I'm not on a Fox News show at 2
but
in
I also
the afternoon.
I have maybe more fans than he does. Mm-hmm. So it's I get it.
And I'm totally, now I'm regretting because I sound like some morning radio douchebag.
Now we're doing the same thing.
Well, no, but he attacked first, and it's
and I get
because
it.
Obviously this isn't the first I'm hearing about all this. We're best friends. Mm-hmm. Well, second best friends now. I kind of had to distance myself a little bit from you because of all this heat. I don't want to catch any flack.
Yeah.
But that guy, anybody who calls himself a comedian and doesn't see the humor in this and starts talking about, because he's the one who said, "Oh, there could be a cop, and they need a cop across town because the kids in it," and that's the fucking. If that's the place you go immediately, you're a fucking idiot loser.
All the hypothetical.
That's the people who just, when there's something they don't like that challenges their sensibilities, they're the first people to be like, oh, but what if a kid sees it? Oh, what about kids? Like just jumps to some hypothetical bullshit scenario where there's a baby in a fire and you're having fun is impeding the rescue of this hypothetical baby.
Yeah.
But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So that's another global news coverage of your cookie.
Yeah, and also a little backstory there. So someone reached out to me from Fox News saying they wanted to use the images from my Twitter account. And I said, yeah, but also I'd like to tell my side of the story so people know that I do feel bad about it, and maybe they would not want to make fun of me as much. Mm-hmm. They said, no, we just want to use the photo. And I said, okay, that's fine. And then I must have said something else that interested them, because quickly I got another message saying, hey, someone from our show wants to talk to you. And so I called this guy, I don't remember his name,
mm-hmm.
and
is it Bill O'Reilly?
No, it was just a guy that works there. And
I
was actually on my way. Inside Edition was I had a scheduled interview. They talked to me the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be there at 10:30 in Culver City. I drove almost all the way there, and then I get a call saying, we're really sorry, we have to cancel. So I'm on my way back from Culver City.
Took the day off of work.
A paid day off of work. And actually, I'm not going to shit on Inside Edition, because there's a chance that they are going to pay my missed wages, which I don't necessarily think I deserve. But if they do that, that would be very nice of them.
That would be great. I wouldn't hold my breath.
No, but the lady that I spoke to was like,
I'm sure they have $22 laying around.
That's not very funny, but very close. The lady, not to get too distracted, but the lady said, we're really sorry. And I said, are you sure? I'm almost there. I mean, even if you don't use it, do you want to just do the interview? And they said, no, everyone has changed gears because a news story just came in and we have to follow that.
A news story on Inside Edition where they...
No, don't shit on an Inside Edition.
No, but I'm just saying hard-hitting news like Kim Kardashian has dropped her baby.
They don't do... They do like scandal type of stuff. They don't do too much entertainment.
What kind of so non-entertainment scandals?
Well, like remember like the Menendez brothers? That was their shit, man.
Yeah.
In the 80s or the 90s or whatever it was. But
right. It's tabloid news.
It's like, some guy, one of the senators got a blowjob or something like that.
Yeah. Well, so I can shit on them if I want.
Yeah, no, I know. But
and I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying they're not like a credible news thing.
No, I agree. The news... The lady said, could we cover your gas money? And I said that's really nice. I'm just kind of disappointed because I'm almost there and I would like to tell my side of the story. I think this is a good opportunity. But also, I did take the day off of work and she's like, oh no, well, let me see what I can do. The end of the day, I hadn't heard anything and I wasn't actually emailing directly with her. I was emailing with someone else. So I reached out to her and said, can I have her email? Because we had a conversation. I didn't want to bring someone else in on it that could be like, whatever. Because I could tell she was being serious.
Right.
So I got her email. I emailed her. I didn't hear anything back. But today I got an email back from her saying, don't think I've forgotten about you. I'm working on something for you right now. And I'll let you know by tomorrow.
Oh.
So that's good. And it may be nothing.
Or it might be the new anchor position. Move over, Deborah Norville.
Yeah.
Randy Viral Linchy is in town.
That made it sound like it was more than just sending me a check for my missed day at work. That made it sound like they may still do a story.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think this is all coming to an end. But anyways, that's nice. While I'm driving back from Culver City, I talked to the Fox News people on the phone. And I open up to the guy on the phone. I tell him what's really happening. I was having a tough day. That just got canceled on. There are some real things in my life.
Just spent. How long were you in jail? Like 5, 6, 7 hours or something?
It was like 8 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I
missed a day of work.
Missed a day at work. Already kind of on thin ice at work. Now I'm having to take another day off to do press over getting arrested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's true. It sounds crazy and it sounds funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
And so whatever. I open up to the guy. I tell him people want me dead. People are mad at me, and I would love the opportunity to let people know I'm sorry. And he's like, he's being nice, and he's saying, listen, man, don't worry about it. He's cheering me up. People are always going to say stuff. He even said something about that lady that it's her show, Gretchen. He said people send her messages, hate messages all the time.
Yeah.
He said people...
Did you say to him, but she's an awful person?
No, I didn't even know. I had no clue who she was. I still don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's interesting that it made it to a national news desk somewhere. But he said people write us hate messages about what type of shoes she wears. And I was like, yeah, I know, but I'm getting messages in my email box saying that they want to shoot me. And he said, that's to be expected. And I go, no, I never would expect that.
Yeah.
Here's the email, actually. I have it right here. It says, next time, make a cookie gun. And I've heard that one a million times.
What's the guy's email address who sent this to you?
I don't want to. This guy seems weird. I don't want to bring it up. Next time, make a cookie gun and get yourself shot so that anyone out there stupid enough to think this is funny to waste police officers' time won't be around anymore. So he's threatening to kill a bunch of people.
Right. Do you have are those negative comments there too that you received?
Yeah, I had this printed up because when I was going into Inside Edition, I wanted to let them know.
Yeah.
Because if they were going to be like, "What are you talking about? This is great," I could be like, "Look at this piece of paper."
Yeah.
These are real. These are real. First one I won't read because it cracked me up a little bit.
We'll save that one for last.
I'll save that one for last because it's like something that Brendon would say.
Okay.
Which it isn't. It's
it wasn't me. Are these from Twitter or Facebook or just on Reddit or
blogs?
So you just kind of cherry picked like the word, like these are.
I
from
went
a bunch
to
of
different
sources.
articles and took ones out of them. This isn't like the first 10 things I read. I tried to pick kind of the harshest ones just to show this is out there.
Yeah.
And I haven't read these in a while. Let's see. If I were the cop who pulled them over, I don't know how I'd be able to exercise restraint, not to pull him out of the car, beat the living shit out of him. What a sheer arrogant, galling asshole. I'll give you a fucking cookie to eat, you goddamned prick. End of story. End of you.
That comes from that's just a sign of the state that this country is in. Not to, get too political about this, but the fact that anybody would think to even jump to that thing of like, well, if I saw a guy doing that, I'd pull him out of the car and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I don't think you would, though. It's so crazy.
Well,
next one says, this asshole is just retarded in so many ways. Spelled retarded wrong, too. I thought that
is the best.
Retarded. It's all fun and games until an officer fears for his life and opens fire on our intrepid protagonist.
Well, could be one of those gun cookie phones.
Yeah, the guy's talking on his phone. Looks like a phone. Maybe I'll open fire.
Well, you never know. You could be calling. There could be a sniper on the roof that you're talking to tell him to shoot the cops. So one makes sense.
This guy says, you don't ever fuck with the cops. Never. Enjoy the bullet to your neck.
Wow. To the neck.
Guy seems like he's been shot by the cops before or something.
Or maybe, yeah.
This guy says, I rarely ask for this, but I hope those cops beat the shit out of him and pull him around by his evil ginger chin pubes.
Wow. And so he rarely asks for this, which means he's asked for
He's
this
asked
on
for
a
that.
few rare
If
occasions.
you look through his previous posts, he has asked for that before.
But not about you specifically, just to other people with ginger pubes.
Chin pubes.
Chin pubes?
Yeah, he's making fun of my beard.
Yeah.
Well, he could get tased with a real taser that he thinks is a cookie. Now that would be funny. So that's like a joke, but people are still wishing pain upon me.
Right. And also, why would you think that the cop has a cookie taser?
Everything
just because you got a cookie phone doesn't mean
went to
everything's
cookie
cookies.
guns, cookie tasers, cookie bombs. Everything's a cookie, and everyone wants to give me a good cookie idea today. My boss today, a piece on our refrigerator broke, and we had to get it replaced. He asked me to make a cookie version of it.
Ah.
Well, when you've never been laid, you do a lot of weird things to compensate, like bake iPhone cookies to fool cops. So now people are saying I've never had sex.
That's violent. But to be honest, I can't say for a fact that you've ever had sex.
I can. I have had sex.
Okay.
Listeners.
I'm always asking you about
I've had sex right here, right now. I'll make an announcement. I've had sex more than 10 times.
When's the last time you and your girlfriend had sex?
I played the fifth.
See, you never tell. I want juicy details about your sex life, and you never give me any.
When we break up, I'll tell you all about it.
Okay. And that might, I guess we'll get to that later.
Yeah, actually. This is the one that I thought was funny. Part of it's funny. Just an excuse for this fat ass to drive around eating cookies all day as he gets more worthless and fatter by the minute. Has a cop even pulled him over? This is when it was just a viral thing.
Right.
Most of these are just when it was a viral thing, not when it was. I was
viral.
It says, "How much gas money has he blown? What an unfunny loser." So
so you needed an excuse to drive around and eat cookies.
I don't need an excuse to eat cookies.
You just get a box of Famous Amos, drive around and eat them all day.
Eat the cookies.
You've done it.
Yeah, and there were a lot of things basically just saying that, I'm living off my parents' money. People jump to so many conclusions.
Yeah.
Like, get a job, and it's like, this guy has too much spare time. It also turned into a race thing. It went viral on this whole like white people are crazy aspect too.
Yeah.
White people, I love you though, but you're crazy.
Yeah.
And if you searched iPhone cookie for the first day that it went viral, it was almost completely associated with this white guy.
Yeah.
This white guy cookie thing, I'm going to kill myself if I see that anymore. Yeah. Like, for some reason.
One guy said he was going to stab himself.
I've already seen it 10 times. I'm going to stab myself.
Did they put it on like World Star Hip Hop or something?
I don't know. Everyone grabbed it and used it to generate traffic to their site, basically. Yeah. So people were putting their own watermarks on it, saying that, not claiming that they did it, but every time that got reblogged, it now had their name. And my name was wiped off of it. But cool, whatever.
And everybody's just using it to vent about whatever bullshit agenda they like to vent about. Like, we get it. Black guys have bad luck with the cops a lot, but if you're a black guy, well, whatever.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Oh, this guy's white. Your white privilege is showing.
Yeah, so it's like you walk around all day, like you wake up in the morning and go, well, I'm a white guy. Let's see what I can abuse with this power of being
and I
a
agree,
white guy.
Like the social aspect of race involved in this might be an issue, but. Can you imagine? Again, I'm baking a cookie for a joke, and I was laughing so much. I was like, this cookie looks like a phone. Yeah. Okay. Take that childish idea and then throw it into white entitlement. There's a lot of like hipster type of things. This fucking idiot hipster.
You don't even have tight pants. I mean, your pants. You have tight pants, but they weren't made that way. They're.
I've grown into. them. No, the picture of me is like I have a beard and I'm wearing a plaid shirt from Target. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, I'm such a hipster, but whatever. I have a beard. I also look like a teacher in North Carolina. Like, I look like a farmer as well. Like, whatever.
Or like an escaped hybrid of an orangutan and a walrus. From a lab of, like, some kind of lab somewhere.
I'm going to open the window. It's hot.
Oh. A sweaty orangutan walrus.
Whatever, Brendon. So, yeah, that's what happened. That was my day. Next, so I talked to, also at the same time, like right around the same time, I had to pull over twice because I'm not using my phone while driving. Pull over, and I got a call from the Steve Harvey show.
Yeah.
So on my way to Inside Edition, gets canceled on. Talk to Fox News, open up to them. I was honest. Then they made fun of me on their TV show.
Right.
I talked to someone on the Steve Harvey show. Turns out his coworker is Kyle Kinane's sister.
Interesting.
Tegan, who I've met, and we really got along.
She works with Steve Harvey?
I guess she works on the Steve Harvey show. It's shot in Chicago. And he was like, oh, that's crazy. My coworker says she knows you. I'm about to talk about this fucking weird prank thing on a cop. And then he's like, yeah, she just told me about how you pranked her brother. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, great. Everyone's mad at me.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I hope she's not mad. And he's like, no, she thinks it's great. And I was like, okay, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because, I didn't mean to make him look stupid if I did. Either way. Talk to Steve Harvey, really open up to this guy too. And he seems to give me some good advice. And then I watched the show that day. They didn't talk about it, but that doesn't mean that they're not doing it today or tomorrow. I don't know. There's a segment on Steve Harvey's show called "And One More Thing," or "What We Have Time for One More Thing," or something like that.
Okay.
And they just show a little quick thing. When I watched it, this is going to sound racist, but when I watched it, at that part, instead of my thing, it was a black lady that came out with a dress made out of collard greens. To promote healthy living, but it was like, and one more thing.
Promote healthy living by wearing food?
Like,
I guess instead of eating it, you wear it?
No, it was cool. She lost a bunch of weight, and she was like promoting healthy, but it was like a black lady in a dress made out of collard greens.
Yeah.
Uncooked collard greens, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was...
Actually, I was picturing them cooked.
I was like, this beat me?
You should have made a cookie suit.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just to name, not to name drop, but to name some more news organizations that did contact me. ABC Nightline News, that was one of the first people that talked to me. We scheduled a Skype interview for that night's episode. And then apparently a verdict had come through on a case that they had been following, and they had to change gears. That was the first one. Good Morning America emailed me. What else? NBC station in LA, and then that transferred, they wrote the article and it got transferred to like the national news, NBC national news. So they had free range to do whatever they wanted with it. Do you remember any other ones that I mentioned?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, can I tell everyone that when I picked you up from the police station that you cried?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you were.
No, I didn't.
You had obviously been crying when I saw you. You can even see in the picture.
No, I was fine. I'll say it now, I have cried over this. I have.
Yeah.
Well, my parents aren't either way.
Your parents are mad at you.
Think about this. It's the range of this. I've had people contact me to say that they thought it was funny, which is nice. I love it. I'm glad that people are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
From Finland, from China, from Taiwan. I know that's kind of China. The UK, Australia, Canada, Colombia. So Central America.
So it was like a fluke, more or less. Like
it's not a fluke. I've
done a few pranks in my day, and it's you have to know what you're doing, and you just kind of got in over your head.
I would say yes.
Fluke,
I would say I did get in over my head. It backfired, and certain things that I did took a certain skill to accomplish. But yes, I would say it's a random occurrence.
Do you want to play because this is probably getting pretty boring for everyone. So if you want to play one of your radio interviews, which again, if I was doing this, I would have, I know that you got some shit, and I guess we'll talk about the Chelsea thing after we play this clip, or either way, I just, if it was me doing it, because I have a little bit more experience at this kind of stuff, I would have capitalized on these interviews a little more and done some more crazy stuff.
Well, this is the first radio interview that I did.
Okay.
Keep in mind, it's all explained in the interview. I'm feeling better about it right now, today.
The interview or everything?
About everything. I'm feeling more positive, but this is an interview that I did, and I was just completely honest to this guy. And
but that's kind of where you fuck up with everything, because you had something that fell into your lap,
I don't know about fell into my lap, but
you had, it was, you did something, and then like by a crazy fluke, it got a little bit of attention, but then when you finally got on then you just buckled under the pressure, instead of like, if you were going to, I'm just saying, if I was doing it, and I had gotten this kind of attention, this radio interview, that would be the time to really raise the stakes, and instead you just start coming clean, and you should play it.
I'll play it. And it's self-explanatory. It's a WGN Chicago, shows at 3 a.m. in Chicago. For me, it's 1 a.m. I had to work early the next day, so I went to bed. I set my alarm for 12:50. I woke up, I took the call, talked to the guy for about 20 minutes. I was exhausted, and I went back to bed.
So those are excuses for...
Not excuses.
Okay.
And then the next day I listened to it. I didn't realize until the next day that the guy talks shit about me for 6 or 7 minutes after he hangs up. Didn't bring up any of those issues in the phone call. He could have. And this guy's name is Matt Bubala.
And you knew...
The guy's a failed actor. Mm-hmm. He talks about it himself. Moved to LA to become an actor, moved back to Chicago. For some reason, that gives him the right to be dishonest with me and not raise these issues that he thinks about me until he hangs up. And now he's not responding to me on Twitter. I would like to talk to him again.
Most DJs are just cowardly failures who aren't happy. But just before I guess we could play it. But you knew that you called into this, right?
They called me.
But you knew it was happening.
Yeah.
So you had time. You could have prepared something. Like, you could have called me.
I prepared my honest story. It's all fucking. But it's self-explanatory. Listen, it's
the day before, when I was like, well, we should do, like, I get it. You were in jail and you were all upset. But I did say, like, hey, let me help. We should do like a good prank. We should do something.
Well, let's get to it. I do something funny later, but let's get through this one.
But I'm just saying that it's, once you get this kind of attention, you can't let it get the best of you. And you knew that you had to call in, and instead of doing something to. I said I wanted to
Prepare.
help you
I know
with
my
it.
story, and I told my story.
Right, but it doesn't. Why become honest now that you got all this attention, and then like you just
Because
you know,
of all
when
the
we
negative.
could've-
Because of
but
all the
you and me could have come up with something really funny.
Oh, to involve you in this. This is
I'm not
about
saying
me.
involve me. No, I know it's about you.
Be like, oh, my friend wants to do the interview
No,
for me.
No, I was saying that
Here's
we could have
Brendon.
come up with.
Here, talk to Brendon. He's
Okay.
going to be funny.
Just we'll play the thing and maybe just edit that part out.
Cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me. Oh, cookie, cookie, cookie starts with C.
Thank you, Cookie Monster. Matt Bubalo with you, 720. WGN Radio, text from the 630 says, we left Naperville at 5:30 p.m. Friday and arrived in Dayton 7 hours later with minimal stops. I-65 was a white-knuckled nightmare. I believe it. It's coming down pretty good on Michigan Avenue right now. So there was a story on Yahoo during the week or last week, Kevin and I first saw it, about an LA comedian who decided for fun, as apparently it's against the law to drive and hold a phone to your ear, I believe, in LA. So he thought, why don't I do this? I'll bake some iPhone-shaped cookies, frost them up, make them look like iPhones, then I'll drive around talking until I get pulled over. And hilarity will ensue. But supposedly the cops didn't find it too funny when he took a bite of the cookie as he pulled him over. And so then they went and ran his plates and found he had a bunch of unpaid parking tickets, and they made him go into the clink and get that taken care of. Randy Litke joins us on the phone right now. Hey, Randy, thanks for staying up with us. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. All right, so I got to ask you right away, because now there's stories that they're people are questioning Randy whether this was legitimate or not, whether these now people are dissecting. Now you got like a Zapruder film going on your Twitter account, and they're like, well, wait a minute. In the picture where he's pulled over, the lights aren't on the police cruiser, and cops have their lights on when they pull you over. And then in another picture, it's like he dropped the cookie on the ground. Why would he litter in front of the cop? And then he's outside 10 hours later with some ticket in front of him, but it's blurry and it doesn't really look like a ticket. So, and they say you didn't respond when asked for comment. And the authorities aren't responding whether they pulled you over or not. So, Randy, this is all legit, right?
Yeah, it's all legit. I mean, I can answer some of those questions if you want, but I think the most important thing is just to,
pay your parking tickets?
Well, I mean, I can get into that too. I guess what happened was I have a bunch of parking tickets. I had a few, but they weren't overdue. But I guess my girlfriend had been using my car in the past years.
Oh, Randy, you can't blame the girlfriend. Come on, dude. She's not going to like that.
Her. I mean, I got myself into this, but, my girlfriend did get pretty much all of those tickets for me.
I'm not blaming her, but it was her. So let's say that.
Well, I wouldn't have been out there doing that if I knew I had a warrant. I just moved in with my girlfriend, and I guess my mail isn't getting to me yet. I don't know. I've been here for a year, but apparently I'm not on the lease or something, so I didn't get anything in the mail about it.
All right, so let me ask you about this. The cookies look really good, by the way. Were they good cookies, or was it more? Because they look tasty. I think you could sell those in a bakery. Were they good cookies, or were they kind of like, no, they look like iPhones, but they didn't taste so good?
I mean, they tasted like chocolate. They weren't the best cookie I've ever had, though.
Well, you did a nice job. What was the idea behind it? Just, this will be a fun thing for my Twitter account. This will be interesting. Let's see how a cop reacts when I actually bite into my phone and I wasn't really using it.
Well, yeah. I mean, originally it was just an idea for a joke. I mean, I'm a comedian, so I'm a joke writer. And so I created it just as a joke idea, and then I put it online, and pretty much my Twitter followers kind of like told me I needed to go out. And I mean, I kind of got bullied into actually doing it. I wasn't planning on it. And the whole thing kind of really blew up in my face,
Well, did it really blow up in your face? I mean, is it a big deal that how long I think you were in for like 10 hours, right? I mean, are you were going to have to deal with this anyways, eventually, right? You were going to have to pay off these tickets. You were going to get a boot or something at some point. So it's not like you weren't going to have to deal with it. Do you feel like this really blew up in your face and you wish you didn't do it? Or, you're getting some publicity out of this. This was okay?
Yeah, I do wish I didn't do it. It made me look stupid, and then there's a lot of people online that are saying a lot of, obviously anytime you do anything, people are going to say stuff online, but there has been a really negative response that I've seen, and I've actually gotten emails saying that they wish I would have gotten shot and stuff like that. And I've seen those. I've seen stuff like that online, which makes sense. But I'm getting direct emails telling me that I should have been shot with a gun by a cop, and my parents are getting. My parents aren't thrilled about this, and I have a day job, and people keep coming into my job and kind of recognizing me from this story. It hasn't been a great thing for me.
Are your employers a little like, hey, iPhone guy, what are you doing here? Are your employers upset about it?
Originally they thought the idea it was funny as well when it was just kind of making its rounds on the internet, but now people are coming in thinking I am reckless, and I am, I'm representing a company now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be just representing myself with that type of stuff.
But your job knows you're a comedian, and they know this is the type of thing that you do. I mean, I imagine they know you as a person, so they know you're not a goof, and this is just something for fun. They can't be too mad about it, right?
No, they can't. But also, if things get pushed to a certain limit, they're not going to have the right choice. If I represent them as a reckless person,
sure,
and then also a distraction. So people coming in and talking about. I mean, I work at a coffee shop, so it's not like the world's most important job. But I
would think they could handle it there. Yeah. Well, and I don't understand people. Of course, if they're emailing you saying you should be shot, that's terrible. Now, if they say they should have tased you, that could have been funny, right? That could have been okay.
Well, I don't think it would have been okay if I would have been tased.
That wouldn't have gone well. No, I suppose not.
No, but it's I get it. I get why it's funny. I like the idea, but I just if something were to come out of this, I want to make sure people know that I've learned my lesson. I feel bad about it, and I get it. I'm getting some attention, but we'll see if the positive outweighs the negative. I mean, my brother isn't speaking with me over this, so it is a real issue.
Why is your brother not speaking with you over this? Is he a cop?
No, but people, everyone has seen this. Everyone is contacting me, and people have even called me. People like news have called me. I'm like, how did you get my phone number? So like people are calling my phone at work. Like it's not, it's become an issue. So people at my brother's work are talking to him about it. I mean, my last name is a pretty unique last name.
Right. So why is your brother mad at you? Because people at work are giving him a hard time about this? I don't understand. What are people upset about? Other than you wasted a cop's time, what is there to be upset about?
I don't know. My family just feels like I've embarrassed them. My brother actually blocked me on Facebook even.
Dude, it's going to be a great Christmas. Are you going home? Are you going to get to see the whole family here in 10 days?
No, I'm not going home. I am going. Well, we'll see. I'm supposed to be going to visit my girlfriend's family, but me and my girlfriend aren't quite excited about it anymore. I do have to pay off these. I'm on a payment plan now, but yesterday I went to. I was supposed to have an interview yesterday, so I had to cancel my day at work, and then the interview got canceled. And then I came home and I had another parking ticket.
Now, somebody posted this because people are all over you now. So I saw that the latest parking ticket, and then somebody wrote in the comments, "That's not your car." People are all over you now.
I know. No one. That's the thing. It's like you do one thing, and then you're going to have 100 different opinions about it. But no, I mean, that is my car. I drive a Toyota Corolla. It's a 2004 silver Toyota Corolla. It was purchased in Oregon. That's where I grew up.
Now, one of the reasons people maybe are giving you a hard time is because last year or earlier this year, you had some I don't know the whole story, but Kevin looked it up, something with another comedian. You had a little war going, and you made a false Twitter account for somebody, and so you had a thing going. So are people like thinking, well, this guy's done, a fun stunt like this before. Maybe this is just a stunt. Do you think that's why people are so all over you on this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, people are all over me because just the attention that it's gotten. But yeah, I did a thing where I pulled a prank on a friend, and that one kind of blew up in my face a little bit as far as it affected my friendship with his name is Kyle Kinane. He's a very funny comedian. I promised him anytime I talk about it that I would promote him. You should buy his comedy album. It's called Whiskey Icarus, and it actually is really funny. He's a very funny comedian.
Dude, you're plugging other comedians. Come on, we're helping you here, Randy. Come on.
But, no, Kyle's a great friend of mine, and I want to make sure people know that I didn't mean anything. I didn't want to try to embarrass him or anything. But we're cool now. So, yeah, I do get it. Actually, I talked to someone yesterday you guys are in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where Kyle's from. I talked to someone yesterday about this whole thing, and Kyle's sister worked for that same company, so it was a weird coincidence, and I was like, oh, great, I hope they're not mad at me over that, but it turns out they aren't.
Well, at least somebody isn't mad at you. You got that going for you.
Yeah, I was happy. Every time I talk to someone, I'm happy to hear that they thought it was funny as well, because that was my intention. I just wanted to be funny, and I apologize if I've offended anybody.
Well, were the cops mad at you? Because I imagine the only thing to be mad about is you wasted their time. This guy's pulling you over for no reason. Ha, you think you're so funny, but I'm out here on the taxpayer dollar pulling people over, and you're faking it. So was that why they were kind of annoyed with you, I imagine?
The police officer was confused, definitely, and seemed maybe a little angry, but I was very happy that they kept their cool and did their job completely how they should have, and looking, seeing myself like from a different perspective, I looked like an idiot. I looked like a dumb idiot right then.
Hey, so
go ahead.
How many tickets was it? What kind of fine did you said you're on a payment plan? How bad is it?
It was over $1,000 in parking tickets.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So you're on a payment plan. This is going to take you like a year or two to pay this off, I imagine?
I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I'm trying to just pay like $100 here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll take me a little while. I don't have a ton of. I mean, I have my job, sure. And entertainment wise, I had some things kind of in the mix, but ever since this thing has happened, I've had some people reach out to me, but the older things that were happening, I haven't heard from since. So,
well, hey, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity. If you offended a few people, you got your name out to a million more. So that'll turn out okay in the end. Let me ask you though, I'm a little nervous about you and the girlfriend. You guys moved in not that long ago, and now you find out she's got $1,000 worth of tickets on your car. And your fun little prank went awry because of this. Are you guys going to be okay?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we'll be fine. We've been dating for 4+ years. We've only lived together for about a year now, but I don't know. I mean, yes, we'll be totally fine. Things, I don't know. Money tends to do weird things to people, but. Definitely upset with each other about this.
Well, I understand you're upset with her because she got all these tickets you didn't realize. Is she upset with you over this too? Is she mad at you like your brother and everybody else because you did this, or what's she got to be mad about?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm saying you did this, and I'm only in this position because of you, and she's saying the exact same thing to me.
She's saying, no, you're the idiot that baked iPhone cookies and then purposely got pulled over by the police. And she, you know what, Randy, women are good at that. They find a reason to, she got all these tickets, $1,000 worth of tickets, but now she can't be in trouble because you're the one that got caught because you pulled a stunt. If you had just gotten pulled over for no reason, because your tail light was out or something like that, then she couldn't be mad at you. But now she found something to turn it back on you.
Yeah, exactly. She is deflecting it on me, but it is true. I drummed up this audience and did this dumb thing, but I could have pulled it off. That's the one thing that people are insulting me the most about is like, oh, you're the stupidest person in the world to draw this attention to you, and then you should have known that you had a warrant. So.
Well, generally when we have warrants, we don't always know about these things, right? I mean, especially when it's parking tickets. You don't realize it until you walk out and there's a boot on your car or something crazy like that. You can't be blamed for that. I'll give you that. It's not like you robbed a bank and didn't realize, oh, that's right, they're looking for me. I shouldn't draw attention to myself. You didn't rob a bank or anything, right, Randy? We're not going to find that out, right?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm fairly...
You're an upstanding citizen. You're a good guy, except for the parking issues.
Yeah, and here's something else that's this is kind of interesting and funny, but it's also just to show the scale of this. My dad grew up in Los Angeles, and when he got married, his best man was one of his friends from California, and they haven't really kept in touch too much, but that person, his name is Tim, was a police officer in Los Angeles. Now he's retired. And now he's he was a police helicopter pilot, and now he's a helicopter pilot for one of the news stations in L.A. He saw this story and then started tweeting about it and contacted my dad saying, like, oh, this is your son. He's an ex-police officer and now part of a news organization. So it's just kind of an embarrassing thing,
And he can't help you out at all? He can't hook you up for old time's sake? Guess not.
Well,
I guess it's too late now, right?
He's a news helicopter pilot. He can't do anything for him.
Well, he's still got buddies in the system. If he was a cop, he knows people. All right, let me ask you this. You're on a payment plan because your girlfriend got all these parking tickets. Is your girlfriend now on a payment plan to you?
Well, that's the tough thing,
Well, I don't think it's tough at all. I think you say, honey, I have $1,000 in tickets that you got, and you didn't tell me. If she would have just told you, hey, I screwed up, I got a parking ticket today, or she would have gone ahead and paid it, none of this would be happening. So I think you have justifiable cause to say, now you're on a payment plan, my dear.
Yeah, we're going to try to work something out, but it is tough if, let's say right now I have a little bit more money than she has. We're pretty understanding with each other as far as if someone's doing a little bit better than the other person. So it's tough for me to be like, okay, give me $100 when, we're both struggling over it. So, we're going to try to we'll figure it out, I think.
Now, you're working in a coffee shop, but you said she's making less. What is she doing?
Well, she actually, she works with chocolate and pastries. She helped consult with me about the baking, actually.
So wait a minute. So she knew what you were doing.
Yeah, but she thought it was just because originally this was just for a tweet. As stupid as that sounds, this was just going to be a joke that lived online. And then I got more and more into the concept of doing it, and then it got out of hand.
So the concept was, well, pretend I'm getting pulled over. Then you really went and did it because everybody said you should do this. But she should have known that there was a possibility if the joke was, yeah, look, if you had a cookie and you pretended it was a phone, you got pulled over. She should have said, well, don't ever go do that, honey, because it would be really bad right now if you got pulled over.
Yeah, no, the concept was just going to be like a text joke with a photo of a cookie on a cookie sheet. Like it wasn't going to, that was the joke. And that was really my only plan. I was going to just tweet it as a joke and not even bake the cookies. And then I was like, yeah, I got nothing else going on today. So I made the cookies.
All right. So she's a chocolate pastry consultant?
Well, she consulted on my
on your cookies. What's she doing right now?
We met. Oh, go ahead.
That's how you met?
Well, I used to cook in restaurants, and then she was also cooking in restaurants, and then that's how we met. And then now she, instead of cooking at an actual restaurant, she works at a chocolate confections and pastry place.
That's a pretty good place to have a girlfriend working. I imagine the leftovers she brings home got to be pretty sweet, right?
Yeah, we're both just getting fat and stuff.
Good times. Well, Randy, I hope this. You're on a payment plan. I guess you're gonna think twice now before you've got to be thinking though. Now I've got to do something better because this one went awry on me. So now you've got to be hatching. You're a comedian. I'm sure you're always thinking of the next big thing. Are you working on something in your mind that you're going to follow this up with then because you feel this one went awry on you? Are you thinking of something that's going to, be really cool yet work out favorably for you in the end?
I don't know. I've just been kind of trying to tie up all the loose ends that it's caused. Comedy-wise, I'm hoping just to slowly, roll back into doing what I was doing. So.
Well, Randy, what's the tweet handle and what's everything so people can follow you and find you online?
Well, my name is Randy Lidke. My Twitter is @RandyLidke, RandyLiedtke. I guess I have a podcast that you can listen to. There's another comedian that I do the podcast with. His name is Brendon Walsh. And our podcast, it sounds really stupid, but it's called The Bone Zone. So check that out, The Bone Zone. And then
that's not reviewing adult entertainment or anything, right? That's just the unfortunate name for your podcast, I'm guessing.
Well, if I ever have a serious conversation, it's tough to bring up my podcast.
I imagine it is. That's not going to go well in the interviewing process. Oh, you should check out my podcast, The Bone Zone.
It's just silly. We're silly guys. And then my friend who's a musician, I'd like to plug his music because I owe him big time.
Why not? Why not? Go ahead. Quick plug.
He has a band called Paparazzi and the Photogs, and he sings songs about celebrities. And search him on iTunes or Spotify. Paparazzi and the Photogs. Guy saved my life, so I owe him.
Wow. All right. Randy Litke, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'm sorry that your brother's mad at you. I'm sorry that your girlfriend got you into this heat. I hope that, things work out better for you in the year ahead. Hey, 2013's almost done. 2014, onwards and upwards, my friend. Randy Litke, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, man. Thanks for talking to me.
All right, thank you very much. That was Randy Litke. He's a comedian out in Los Angeles. It's interesting listening to him because he's sort of like Stephen Wright. Do you remember the comedian Stephen Wright, who's so deadpan and slow delivery and talks like this? You remember?
Yeah, well, I know the type. There's a few of them out like that.
So he's just like him, except Stephen Wright's really funny.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough to be a comedian and then seem to not have a sense of humor. Well, I don't think being tased would have been funny at all. I mean, come on, dude. You're trying to – it's either a big stupid hoax or he is – that's what you would want is to get tased or something funny to happen in the end.
I mean, I guess I see what he's saying, that being tased sounds pretty awful. But in the
But it
name
didn't
of a
happen,
joke,
so wouldn't you say, yeah, that would have been great or something?
Yeah.
Texter from 847 says, this guy is as big a liar as that Russian girl. I got a Facebook message from, I feel so bad, from Sophia this week. Hey, did you ever get a hold of my mom?
Yeah,
and I don't know if she's real or not, but I never sent the mom chocolates. I never contacted the mom like I promised I was. That's terrible.
Maybe you're the fraud then.
Well, I guess I am in that sense, yes. But, all of you listeners I blame because you're all like, she's not real. This is bogus. She's not this or that. And there's some guy contacting me that's got to tell me some story I still haven't gotten a hold of yet. 847, I can appreciate Lenny Bruce's social commentary style comedy, but where are the yucks? 262, for comedian, he doesn't have a sense of humor. Yes, that is the real problem here, I think, for Mr. Randy Litke is you need to be funny to be the comedian, right? Isn't that still, can they get away with actually getting up there and just, I mean, it's funny that, well, it was just supposed to start out as a Twitter text thing. And then what? And then you realize it's not funny at all. So you thought I better go out and actually do this. I don't, there must be a whole, and he's plugging all these people. Paparazzi and the Photogs, is that what he said the band was? And then some other comedian whose album he wants to get out. There must be a whole underground system. I mean, I lived in LA for a couple of years right out of college. I wanted to go be an actor, and so I moved out there and I got jobs in the industry and all this stuff. And, everybody out there is trying to become involved in the industry. And so when you think about it, that means there's about 4 million people that maybe just aren't that good. And eventually have to move back to Chicago or move back to other places and things like that. And then some of them just keep going. And then they're going to do things like this because now you can become famous. Let's face it, and maybe Randy's hilarious on stage. Maybe he's a really funny comedian. I didn't get that sense from this 15 minutes together. But you can still become famous by just doing something stupid, right? You can be a Kardashian, just make a sex tape and suddenly have an empire. So things like that can happen these days where back in the day...
And you won't get arrested for that. Maybe that's the route he should have taken.
Maybe he should have. I don't think he has the curves to pull it off, quite honestly. But, people with a lot less talent than there used to be can become famous and maybe make it stick, maybe not. For poor old Randy, I don't know that it's going to work out. Matt Bubalo, 720 WGN. Matt Bubalo with you live from the Allstate Showcase studio on the beautiful, magnificent mile where the snow is falling gently. See it through the streetlights out there. But the roads look pretty clear, at least here on Michigan Avenue. But the windshield wipers are on. We'll check in with Bill in a little while on the latest on traffic. From the 630, why interview then dump on a guest? And I do feel a little bit bad that I'm saying mean things about Randy Litke. I'm sorry. You know what? Once I read online that people are doubting his story, now I get all defensive because we had the Sophia Roberts thing. All of you didn't believe in her. And so then I get defensive about these guests and maybe he's pulling a hoax. And then he's not very humorous about it. He's a comedian. And I'm having some fun with him. And I'm sorry, but he has a responsibility as a comedian, I think. If you're a comedian, then you have to try to be funny or at least look at, he's so, he's blaming his girlfriend. My brother's mad at me. My parents are mad at me. Over what? I'm sorry, but I think he's trying to drum up sympathy and drive more of this by saying all these people. He works in a coffee shop. What kind of heat can he be getting at work about this? You know what? Are they having a problem with it? Go work at another coffee shop. There's lots of them.
How would you think that even the coffee shop would like the extra attention that he might be drawing to them? You would think.
Having headphone issues right now.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what's going on over there.
I'm rolling over the cord. All right. Say again what you just said, Kevin.
I was saying I think that if I'm the coffee shop owner, I like the extra attention he might be drawing to my shop.
What could the problem be? The line is slowing down because people are mad. Hey, iPhone guy! And the whole place goes up for grabs?
And here's an idea. Sell the iPhone cookies at the coffee shop now.
You know that he's got to be trying to work on that, right?
Right.
Although Apple will sue the pants off of him and take all his money.
Well, it's just a MP3 player cookie. That's innocent.
Make it an Android. Nobody would want to buy those, though. But, yeah, he's just, I'm sorry, but he's, my brother this, my brother, whatever. Come on. So I am dumping on him, and I apologize.
Yeah, so that's, again, WGN, Chicago, AM radio. I don't, no offense if you do listen to AM radio, but I don't know a lot of people that do.
Some people like talk radio, but
yeah.
I'm not defending the guy. I think that guy was a fucking...
I think it's just so interesting to be bring up that, let me defend myself before you hang up, maybe. That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, he just exhibits what, and not to make a sweeping generalization, but I've met lots of radio DJs over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And they all share what this guy exhibits and not all, but a lot of them just share these traits of real insecurity and real unhappiness, and they just kind of take it out on people. The only way, they just jump on things to make fun of it. Like when someone's like, oh, well, I invented this fake arm for kids. Oh, yeah, fake arm for kids. Oh, yeah, what are you going to do? Wave goodbye to your fake parents with that? They just jump on, they just turn everything into a target.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's weird to hear him say that stuff about me. Because on my end, he said, all right, talk to you later. He hung up. Before he even said my name. On my end, I was like, oh, we're done. I went back to bed because it was 1 a.m. I went right back to bed. I had to be up at 6 a.m. So it was just weird.
Well, Mr. Hotshot, it was, it was on at 3 a.m. in Chicago, which is prime.
He couldn't hang up on me fast enough to let me have it. What a brave person,
Yeah. He did the LA thing. He did the acting thing. And,
I think that, that's also very funny that he says he knows there's a lot of talentless people out there because he was out there and he moved. So it's oh, you were one of them. He
really kind of slammed himself in that sentence.
But he didn't realize it.
I know. He's really clueless. So that guy,
here's what I want people to do. If you feel up to it,
you heard the tape, and the guy I would
like him to have me back on the show and say some of those things to me so I can defend myself. Yeah. I don't think he will, but guess what? I'm going to start tweeting to him to see if he can have me on the show or at least apologize to me. I would love for him to apologize to me.
Yeah, so, and you guys heard that. You just heard all that, so if you want to stick up for Randy. His Twitter. Do you have his Twitter name?
His Twitter name is at
a cinnamon roll.
at Radio for Parents, and the 4 is the actual numeral number. So RADIO number 4 parents, and he has like 15 Twitter followers. So he did have a tweet like a day ago or something, but he doesn't have a lot of Twitter followers.
What was the other? Wasn't there another guy?
And the guy who also talks with him at the end, his name is Kevin. And
always a guy named Kev.
His Twitter follower is at Kev_0HH. So it's KEV_0HH. I don't. Yeah. He didn't seem that rude in the interview. He's the one that actually contacted me via email.
But it's so.
No, I'm just saying it's more effective if you want to tweet to both of them because they clearly work together.
And they're bullies. I mean, that was really bullyish.
That was very bullyish for him to put himself above me without giving. Yeah. He wanted an interview. I gave him an interview. I apologize that this has affected my life, but I thought it was nice enough for me to fucking wake up in the middle of the night and talk to this fucking guy. I'm sorry if I'm getting upset, but I did a lot to make that happen. I woke up, I almost canceled, and I felt too bad. I was like, I could roll. You know that when you wake up and you have to be somewhere and you're like, I wish I could just fucking go back to sleep. That was an opportunity that I could have.
Yeah.
But I forced myself out of bed. I had my fucking light on in the other room set up for me to go get away from my girlfriend and not wake her up. She's already not happy with the whole thing anyways. My alarm goes off at 1 a.m, wakes up my girlfriend so I can do a radio interview so the guy can be rude to me. Anyways, I want you to tweet to this guy because I want him to apologize to me. It would make me feel better.
And if you live in Chicago and you're awake at 3 a.m, you can call into the show and fuck with him.
Yeah, I don't know what their policy is if they take phone calls. I don't know. I've never listened to their show. I don't think a lot of people have. But I think me tweeting that interview probably gave them more listens than they've ever had. Not to say I'm the greatest. I'm just saying they're the worst.
No, yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best person in the world, but I have a feeling I'm better than this guy.
Well, obviously, because he's a jerk and you're not. And,
Thank you.
And just that
black guy on Fox News says, well, first of all, he's a jerk. So
yeah,
everyone thinks I'm a jerk, but this guy's the
real
real
jerk. Don't
jerk.
get all worked up about it again.
Okay.
And you and your girlfriend staying here again, or is she at her brother's?
She's whatever.
We don't have to talk about that. Sorry. But also if you live in Chicago or have access to that WGN show that's on at 3 a.m. with that idiot, call and have some fun with him and fuck with him if they take calls. Fuck with him on Twitter, but don't try and be a little creative. And
Don't be. Here's what I've noticed when people try to talk shit with me. I instantly dismiss you if you're foul-mouthed.
Yeah.
If you're clearly unintelligent.
Yeah.
If you're just making no sense. So if you want to tweet to this guy, do it, but try to make your point.
We're on a different podcasting network now, so use you don't have to follow suit of what some other fans of things.
Yeah, my goal is not to bully. My goal is not to bully this guy the way he bullied me. My goal is to let him know that he's kind of a jerk for what he did and that he does owe me an apology.
But also, it would be fun to, everybody just tweet him a picture or just to bombard him with things and make it funny.
Not foul.
Just an example. Yeah.
Not disgusting.
An example tweet not to do would be oh, you fucking suck, you fucking piece of shit. Or you suck on my cum, you fucking
if you
suck
do
my
that,
dick.
if you do that,
Randy rules and you're a fucking faggot.
Yeah, because now you're representing me without my permission and that makes me look dumb. If you do that type of stuff and you tag me in it and I notice it, I will block you because I don't think that's a great way to represent me or yourself.
Yeah.
So I think you should let him know that he should apologize to me. And actually, I'll play it. Paparazzi recorded a song to help me out. Should I play that?
Yeah.
So Paparazzi.
PAPA space RAZZI and the Photogs.
Paparazzi and the Photogs.
If you don't have all their albums, get them. They're available on iTunes, Spotify. Go to modernmedia.com, MOTERNMEDIA.com, modernmedia.com, and there's a whole list of bands that fall under the umbrella of that organization, peruse around. It's they signed a lot of new bands this year, I think.
There's a lot coming out of that label.
Yeah.
And this guy actually saved my life. So Paparazzi, I own big time. I've been trying to plug them at every chance I get. And
plug up those burps.
Yeah, I know. I burped right into the microphone.
It was like a triple burp.
plug. So you could even, I tweeted him this song today.
Okay.
Thinking that would help. So you can tweet him this song. You can retweet.
Is that on our?
I put it on a separate one.
On SoundCloud.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't want to like muddle it up too much. But,
well, if there's a way, is there a way for people to find it?
Follow me on Twitter.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Or go to SoundCloud and search my name.
Okay.
It'll pop up. Or search Matt Bubala, Bubal.
That would be that would be a good example if tons of people just tweeted this song to him.
That's my goal.
Instead of
I tweeted a thing and I said, please retweet this. So I'm going to play the song right now, and then we'll come back. We have a few more things to say, and then
I want to comment on the
definitely. I would love for you to do that, and then I have one more interview. But we'll be right back. Let's listen to this song. This is by Paparazzi. It's called Matt Bubala owes Randy Lidke an apology. It's by Paparazzi.
Matt Bubala, you're a rude man. Interviewing Randy Lidke at 3 a.m. And when he hangs up, you disparage him. Did you think that Randy Lidke was not listening? He was listening, same for me. Why did you say so many bad things about Randy? He is a good man who made a mistake, fooling around with the cookies that he baked. He talked with you in the middle of the night, and then you disparaged him, and I say that's just not right. Oh, what did you expect? Every time he spoke, to be entertained by a funny joke. You had him on to discuss his arrest, which turned his life upside down. It's not something for jest. And so, Matt Bubala, I suggest that you apologize to Randy. Yes, that would be best.
Paparazzi and the Photogs coming at you from BZ69.
That's a perfect example of what I would like to happen in this situation. Paparazzi,
look up.
He really put it out there exactly how it should be said,
and he put a lot of work into that song. Obviously, the rhymes were great. It was a well written song. It was
totally
some of Paparazzi's songs. I'm not going to say he does it, but it seems like he makes them up as he goes along.
This one was a little bit written.
This one seems a little written.
Mm-hmm.
So just to reiterate, SoundCloud, look for Randy Lidke's name, and then you'll find this song.
Yeah, or Matt Bubala, Bubala,
and find the song and tweet a link to those guys, and their Twitter names again are
at Radio for Parents and at Kev _ the number 0HH.
Yeah, so you can tweet them that song,
and it's like I even feel like a jerk saying that, but if I were to re-listen to that 7 minutes, I would feel the same way again. I would say, no, that he's just like putting himself. It's not even about me at that point. It's about him. He's putting himself above me, and that's clearly what it sounds like.
And it's, you did have a good idea. Again, it got spun out of control. Obviously, you talked to him right after the. And day after. Was that the night you got out of jail?
Next day.
Yeah.
Next morning. And if I could talk to him now, I would be a little bit, if he wants jokes, I'll give him jokes. Not really, but you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I would be more myself now. And
if he's going to slam you, he should have been saying those things to you.
He should have said, hey, guess what? I think maybe you're not a very funny comedian, and you did this, and this is the only way that you'll get attention. Is that why you did it?
Yeah.
If that's your question, then ask it to me.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a response.
Instead of saying it behind Randy's back.
Hanging up on me.
Yeah.
Letting me hear it 24 hours later.
Yeah, that's... I'm going to say what that guy did was shitty, and he's a total shithead, so rewind the podcast, get those Twitter names, and find that song, tweet them to them.
Tweet them that song. That's the most important thing you can do.
And add a little note and leave the words like cum or cunt or dick and fuck. You know, leave those words out. Maybe put a little thought into your tweet.
Thank you.
But now I do have to say, like, I think that, it's cool that all this happened for you in a sense. Like, I know I was around, I know you were really upset about, when you got in trouble. But, it does kind of bother me because I was, you did mention, like, I remember when all the calls and emails, because a lot of the emails went to the Bone Zone email address that we both have access to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was trying to get in touch with you all day that Monday after, I drove you home from...
Thank you.
I'm not saying it to throw it in your face, but I'm just, I was there. I saw how upset you were. I'm sympathetic to it. I've had... Obviously, as like a guy who's done like some pranks that got some attention in the past, I've had some things blow up in my face, and I know where you're at. Like, I understand, but like I was getting these emails to the Bone Zone thing. I'm trying to get in touch with you all day Monday to help you. I'm not saying, like, I'm not taking the guy's side, but I could have helped you. We could have done something to him when you were doing that interview. I get that you were feeling bad and you just wanted to come clean. I understand.
I know.
That.
Like, I was choosing. Here's what I was thinking.
It could have been a funny Andy Kaufman thing. Like, I could have come on the line and be like, "Who's on the like you live with your parents." I'm just spitballing now, but I'm just saying that we could have made a really crazy thing happen with.
I know, but here's
sound
what
effects.
I did.
We have all these sound effects. We could have called from the podcast. I would have come over at 1 a.m.
Listen, I just had like 3 things: schedule something and cancel it. Okay, or just not happen. The Inside Edition. All these people were getting a hold of me. National things, and then to have them cancel, I was like, I'm never going to get a chance to tell how I really feel. I thought, maybe I should try to tell a joke or something. I thought maybe this is my only chance to do it.
But that's why you should have called me back.
Well, I was busy. My phone was. I mean, you saw how many emails I got.
No, I know, but I'm saying
they're all
that
asking for me.
But I could have helped with this, and we could have made a bigger thing out of it.
No, it's
on
not.
on the radio interview, we could have done some, like, we have all the fucking podcast sound effects and everything. We could have done something crazy. Like,
this is about me dealing with what I did.
But you took it this far. That's just my, that's just where I'm coming from, because it's like you did this thing, it got, wound up getting attention, like a fluke thing.
It's not a fluke thing.
But I'm saying you didn't set out to try and make it into a viral. I did shit, like, I get it. Like, that Whole Foods thing. Yeah, when I did that
was funny. Yeah,
yeah, and that was all over like blogs and like. Well, that LAist thing wrote a whole.
Well, I'm not gonna say your thing was terrible, but this is different. Okay, like, LAist wrote a thing about your thing, but that was probably as big as it got. And no offense, I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings, but LAist was one of like hundreds of thousands of things that happened over this. Like, did NBC News want to talk to you? Did the Good Morning America show want to talk to you? And again, I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm just saying this affected me on a huge scale because of the scale of it.
But that's why I'm saying that I could have helped, like, because I've had experience with doing these things over the years. And then you kind of, like, we started doing the podcast, and, like, I'm not saying that it's like, I'm not saying that you're doing my thing, but I'm saying that, like, the one person, like, that we start, like, you weren't doing pranks 2 years ago.
Fuck, are you kidding me?
I'm not saying.
Listen.
I'm just saying I could have helped you.
I agree, and I'll ask you for a help whenever I want. Help or whatever. But right now, and of course, if I hang out with you for how many years we've been hanging out, of course our sensibilities are gonna match up. I'm not stealing. Are you kidding me?
No, but you could have called. You could have at least returned my text, and I could have. This could instead of
I've
being
had a crazy.
like all,
I've had a crazy week. Follow me on Twitter, Brendon. You'll see that I've had a crazy week. Follow me on Twitter. Everyone's noticed that this week has been a little bit crazy. Okay. And guess what?
Well,
guess what?
That's a chance that you're gonna. That's gonna happen. Like, and I'm not fucking saying that you stole.
No, I know.
I know. But it is like I'm not claiming credit for anything, but you could have accepted some help instead of
okay.
Like,
okay.
I get it. Your girl, like, that shit's. I don't want to talk out of line, but like you're having. Whatever. It's like, yeah, but it's kind of your girlfriend's fault that it happened.
Yes, and that's not great. I live with her. I come home from work. People they're mad at me at work. I come home. My girlfriend's here. She's mad at me. It's Christmas time. My parents aren't happy with me, but my brother's not happy with me. But listen.
But that's the kind of, those are risks that you're going to take. Like, as a guy who's done pranks a bunch and like, yeah, this is... Yeah, you got some attention for this, but like I have a lot more experience with it, and sometimes you just got to power through those things and try and make more. Like you don't take it that far and then fizzle out.
That's not
do radio interviews where you're just like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And this is.
Well, how about this? I did one more radio interview so far, okay, and I was a little bit more on guard. It was during the day.
And again, this is the first I'm hearing about this one, or I mean, I've heard, but it's again, I was calling you. I had some ideas for some things that we could have done to make a bigger prank. And also, you don't like, I'm not saying that like you stole my, like, obviously it wasn't my idea for the iPhone cookie, but yeah, I've been doing stuff like this a lot, and we do the podcast, and you like hardly even, you don't even like mention me or any of the stuff that I've done, and any of the stuff that like,
I mentioned the podcast, and
barely.
I did, and in one of those things I did mention you, and a few of the things I didn't have that much control.
Well, and I love Matt, and I think Matt should be, or Paparazzi. I think Matt should be promoted. I try to promote him as much as I can too, but I just feel like, I feel like we shouldn't talk about it on the podcast, but I feel like you feel like this is you're like specifically excluding me and not letting me help because you think,
true.
Like,
Shut
it's like,
up. That's stupid. That sounds so stupid. Listen, maybe this one, I have another radio clip. I do something funny in it. But also, I'm a little more guarded. These guys made me mad, so then it made me not really trust. Anyways, here's the clip. Here is also something else. I have another radio interview. Maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we can come up with something.
Do whatever you want. I'm just saying that this, it was an opportunity to do something.
Okay. Well, listen to here. I did it's KFI, John and Ken, which sounds like two dumb gay guys. No offense if you're two dumb gay guys. These guys are very conservative. They're not gay or openly gay. But I got on their show, and again, I tried to apologize, but I also kind of refused to answer some of the questions. And then I did kind of pull a fast one on them. So that's good. If you're trying to give me advice, I did pull a fast one on these guys.
Well, no, I heard it already. And I already told you some of the ideas that I had that we could have done.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to play this. Then we're done. I'm going to play this and we're done. Last radio interview that I've done. I am doing one more this week, and I probably will post it at the end of this. So listen to this quick interview.
I'm also going to I'll be at the Tampa Improv January 23rd through 26th, and at San Francisco Sketchfest January 31st through the 2nd.
Cool. Go
see BrendonWalsh.com.
Go see Brendon. He's funny. Good friend.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine. Okay, so let me set this up one last time. Radio interview, KFI, another dumb AM show. And then after that fades out, there'll probably be another interview that fades in. Don't worry. about the old Rand, man. I'm coming out of this. I'm going to pay off those tickets real soon. I was thinking it was going to take me a while, but guess what? Got some ideas. So I'm going to pay those off, and I'll be back in action soon. Enjoyed this interview, and thanks for listening to the Bone Zone.
We're going to talk to, because I saw this story on the Channel 4 website, and I said, this is great.
Oh.
It's a comedian, and I guess what he decided to do as a prank, it's not all seriously bad. He decided to mock California's you cannot hold the cell phone while you're driving law, which has been in effect for several years now, by baking or acquiring iPhone-shaped cookies, and then it looks very realistic, and then driving around with the cookie to his ear, looking like he's violent, and he got pulled over.
A cop went for it. So let's get him on the line here.
Randy Lightge.
Randy, you there?
Yeah, it's Randy Lidkey.
Lidkey.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Lidkey.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a comedian. What kind of work you do? You comedy club, stand up, or you're acting, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I do some stand up comedy and also some acting. Yes, both of those.
All right. So where'd you get the inspiration for the iPhone cookie to prank the cops?
Well, I don't know. I was driving around eating a sandwich, and then I got worried that maybe a police officer would pull me over because of the sandwich. So then I thought that was a funny idea. And I have a background in baking things, so I baked a cookie and made it look like an iPhone. And I'd like to apologize officially about it.
No,
why?
No, don't do that.
Everyone's
Why do you wanna do that?
real mad at me about it, and
why?
My
Who's mad at you?
even my family.
Oh no, this is
What?
very funny.
You guys
Are you
think
pranking us right now?
No, do you guys think it's funny? I looked at a lot of the comments. A lot of people are mad at me.
I was very funny. I
think it's pretty creative.
It's the kind of mocking that needs to be done against this oppressive government.
Oh, I just thought
you.
Oh, go
what's
ahead.
that?
Oh, I just thought it was.
No. I mean, you.
That was funny to have a cookie that looked like a phone. I thought that was funny.
Can you at least tell us what happened when you drove around with the cookie phone?
Well, I drove around holding it for a while, trying to find a police officer, and then I've actually been pulled over for looking at my Google Maps one time, so I know that it's possible, and I did. I got pulled over by a police officer over it.
And what did he do?
Was this LAPD? Where was this?
My lawyer Hillary has told me not to really talk too much about it. We're still sorting it out.
You got a lawyer ready for
lawyer?
cookies.
What do you got a lawyer for?
You just got to break through here, Randy. Forget about lawyers.
Forget about your family.
No, I know. What, you were in trouble for parking tickets? Is that what I read?
My lawyer Hillary has told me not to talk about exactly what happened as far as the police. I can't mention the police too much.
Is he making a joke?
I think
No.
that's part of the prank.
I feel like we're being punked.
No, my lawyer Hillary is.
I don't care about your lawyer, Hillary.
What's Hillary's last name?
Is Hillary
We're gonna
there?
Look her up.
Is Hillary with you right now?
Hillary is not with me right now. No.
Hillary, all right. Could you at least tell us the interaction between you and the cop? Like what was said back and forth?
He. I mean, again, I can't. He just said he said he pulled me over
Did
because
you
I was
have a
talking.
bong cookie before you came on?
Yeah, you sound pretty high, man.
Are you okay? Seriously.
I'm fine. I'm just kind of, today's been kind of a crazy day. A lot of people are mad at me. I'm happy to hear that you guys aren't mad at me, but there are a lot of people who are.
I don't think anybody's mad at you. Who is mad? Give me
His
names.
family.
Who's mad at you?
My brother has deleted me off of Facebook.
Your brother's deleted you off.
No, he's kidding.
This is baloney. This is grade A baloney.
He's doing his act here.
You've been pranked with a radio cookie.
Tell me, in the news story, because we could just read the news story out loud if you don't want to help us with your telling of it. The cop came and you showed him it was a cookie, and he got really mad.
Yeah, he was a little bit mad and mostly confused, and then he went back to his car and stayed there for a while.
Confused.
Yeah, he was mad and
Did
confused.
you take a bite out of it for him? Or?
I did. I took a big bite.
Did he try to make a call on it to see if it worked?
No, because I didn't want, I wanted to be clear that it was a cookie at that point,
Oh, I see. So he took the cookie in the car.
No, he left the cookie.
And
he left the cookie with me, but he went back to the car to kind of look up my information. I think.
Okay. So why do you need a lawyer? I'm not following this. What happened? Tell anything?
Well, I mean, I did. I got taken in based on some parking tickets, and there's some other stuff happening with it, so I can't really talk about the charges specifically.
Well, parking tickets are not a big deal. I mean, that's not something you'd be arrested for.
You need a lawyer for parking.
The lawyer will cost way more than the parking ticket.
Get rid of Hillary.
No,
Yeah, Hillary's getting in the way.
Hillary is a good gal, and I've known her for a while already.
Garrigus, Garrigus will send you to death row.
It was an evil band of gypsies that gave you that cookie.
All right, so he looked up your background and found out you had some outstanding parking tickets, and that's why you have a lawyer. Is that it?
No, I already had the lawyer, so this is just going. I have.
Hillary's on retainer.
Must be doing well as a
Let me
comedian.
tell you, you're lucky he didn't give you a drug test. That's all I'm saying.
I've never on the record, never done any drugs before.
You've never done.
So there, John. Do not.
You're
You're going to need a lawyer.
You never inhaled?
No, I've never done any drugs. I do have a lawyer. I've done a few pranks before, so it's just good to have a lawyer,
It's good to have a lawyer.
Well, the cookie looked very realistic, and we thought it was very funny, and I think the cop should have had a sense of humor and moved on his way. It's weird. Sorry for that.
It's okay. I mean, I had it coming. Turns out I made a big mistake,
All right, Randy. Thanks for talking to us.
Can I plug something really fast?
I figured that was coming. Sure, go ahead.
Sure, why not?
My friend, I have a podcast. It's called The Bone Zone, and I also have a friend who's a musician. And I'd love it if you bought his music. His band is called the Toilet Bowl Cleaners. What's that?
His name is The Bone Zone.
The Bone Zone is my podcast.
That's the name of the podcast.
Yeah, and my friend.
The group is what? Toilet Bowl Cleaners?
The Toilet Bowl Cleaners. I'll play a song real quick.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop.
All right. Good talking to you. Thanks for coming on.
Poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop. Poop, 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 poop.
A lot of people out there that want to be stars.
I kind of feel like I'm in the disco right now.
I think this is the peak of Randy's career. You're listening to it, right at this moment. All right, thanks, Randy. That's enough of the poop song. Okay. Clay, you can go. Clay, you can hang up on him, Clay. See, we're out of control here because we're. Clay, that'll be enough, Clay.
Well, we promised holiday music bed.
I know.
Here's one. Poop, what was that? And it's by Toilet Bowl Cleaners.
Poop, 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 poop.
Hello.
What's up?
Not much. How's it going?
Not too bad. What type of crazy ass phone are you on right now?
I'm on just a regular style cell phone.
No. This is a cookie iPod phone, isn't it?
No, I only have one of those left right now, and it's in Saran wrap.
Randy, that was really funny. I know you're big on pranks, but that was one of the better ones. Maybe you could describe what the story was on the phone and how it all worked out for you.
Okay. Well, I made a cookie. Looks like a phone. Short of it is I drove around and got a police officer to pull me over. I took a bite out of it. He ran my information and found out that I had a bunch of parking tickets, and I had to be arrested.
Who's laughing now, funny boy?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I thought you said you liked it. Now you're on the other team. Okay.
No, I'm just saying what the cop would say.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. But honestly, it did suck, and it did backfire, and I had a few days where I wasn't sure if I should have done it. You know what I mean?
He was like touch and go for a little while. You're looking at 5 years in prison, or what were you looking at?
No. I just have to pay off over $1,000 worth of parking tickets that my girlfriend got me. And it's I don't know. The range of this whole thing is huge. A lot of people have seen it. I have a day job. People come into my day job and talk to me about it, and my boss is not thrilled about it. And I'm feeling more positive about it now. But there were there were fights amongst me and my parents over this, but
How about the girlfriend? Were there fights with the girlfriend? Obviously, you didn't know about all these parking tickets?
Yeah, things were not great between. I mean, we lived together. We lived together for about a year now, but things are strange in our household over it. You know, I've actually, I have a friend who's a musician, and I had him write a song for me breaking up with her. I haven't played it to her yet, though.
Waiting for Christmas Eve or what?
Yeah, it's a real good time to do it, like right around 11:50 on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, so I just have it ready. So I thought that would be a smart idea.
Me and Randy Lidke's on with us. It's the Shred Reagan Show, and Randy made these little cell phones that look like iPhones.
Little cookies.
Yeah, little cookies, and he rode around and he tried to get the cops to see if he's talking on the cell phone. And then the way it was supposed to work is when they pulled you over, they would come up to the window and was like, "License and registration, boy," and you were supposed to take a bite out of the cookie. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
that didn't work.
Well, it worked, but this is the biggest insult that I've been getting from people, because there has been a negative vibe on the internet about it, of me being a jerk and everything. But one of the insults that I'm getting is, obviously shouldn't be doing stuff like this if you have parking tickets and a warrant. So what I'm going to do now is I've decided to pay them off a little bit faster. I'm selling a few things, and I'm going to pay off all the parking tickets, and then I won't have a warrant, and then I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. That's the way you handle it. Of course, what they don't realize, if they really wanted to bitch at you, is you have diabetes, so you really shouldn't have been doing it.
No, I don't have diabetes, and that's an insult. So no, thank you.
This is kind of like a strange. Some people have had girlfriends that have left them with a gift that keeps on giving, so to speak, some kind of sexually transmitted disease. Unknown parking tickets. It's almost similar. It's it gets you later that you didn't even realize it at the time.
That's true. It really could screw you.
Yeah, it's I had a few of them that were mine, but I don't think they were overdue. But my girlfriend really kind of screwed me over on this one.
Is this, of the pranks that you've done so far, is this one that really blew up, that cost you money, I guess, or have there been others who maybe over the years, whether it's physical damage or mental damage or even monetary damage that you've had to deal with?
This is more money definitely on the back end. Usually it's on the front end. I've bought a lot of things. I've borrowed money to buy things for pranks, and then I wasn't even able to use them because I researched them more and realized they're not possible. But this is definitely the most money I've had to pay after a prank, yes.
So then tell us about one of the ones where you borrowed money and you researched and you realized I can't pull this one off. What was one of the ones you tried?
Well, I can't. I mean, just in case I do figure out how to do some of them, I can't talk too much about them. But I guess some of the things that I've bought. I bought a parachute once. I tried to. I mean, I paid. What's that?
You still holding out hope for that parachute, or can you tell us why you bought a parachute?
I can't. No, I can't tell you. I paid for a horse, but I didn't have any place for it, so then I had to get my money back.
All right. So, and the horse and the parachute weren't tied together somewhere, were they?
No. That's a good idea, though. Now they are.
Yeah, right. Give it a shot.
Horse parachutes dropping paste pecani sauce on a whole city.
Yeah.
Anything on the horizon? Anything to talk about? Up and coming, maybe?
I mean, most importantly, I'm going to do this cookie thing again. I put some things on Craigslist, and I'm actually going to go deliver those things today, and then I'm going to go down to the parking people. I'm going to pay it off, and then the next few days, I'm going to drive up to San Francisco, see what I can do.
I think you should market the cookies.
Yeah, you should.
I'm pretty sure they'd probably be against Apple. Like Apple wouldn't like that, right?
Unless you made them more look like a Samsung or one of the other sort of ones that aren't as Sue happy.
Yeah, I mean at that point I'm just selling a rectangle,
Yeah. Maybe you put apple flavor and you call it apple cookies.
No.
What we'll do is then we'll look for the police reports. There are probably a couple of police police. Well, you wouldn't want to go to Dallas. I wouldn't do this anywhere in Texas. I would really avoid that if I could.
Oh, okay.
Probably Yeah, Florida would probably also be a dangerous part, but I don't think you're going to get too lumped up in Frisco. That should probably work out. But we'll watch for that. And Randy, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah. Follow me on Twitter at Randy Litke. Listen to my podcast, The Bone Zone. And my favorite musician, his name is Paparazzi. I owe him. He saved my life. So listen to Paparazzi and the Photogs.
How did he save your life?
He emotionally saved my life.
Okay, got it. All right, Randy, you take care of yourself, man. Good talking to you.
Okay, bye.
See you later.